I don't know how I would rank how the meeting between Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky went. But what I can tell you is that after the meeting, Trump did not appear to be the guy bringing significant progress to report, embarrassing himself again and again and again. It was actually sort of difficult to watch, and we're going to go through some of it. Remember, the broader context, Trump promised this thing would have been long resolved. We now have heard from Secretary of State Marco Rubio and others, Trump may be preparing to just back away from this thing. It may be intractable. He may not be able to fix it. Trump starting with, Russia wants Ukraine to succeed. And Putin is feeling oh so generous. Really? Because he was bombing Ukraine hours before the meeting.
Yeah. So in your conversation with President Putin, did you discuss what responsibility Russia will have for any kind of reconstruction of Ukraine post an agreement?
I did. They're going to be helping. Russia's going to be helping. Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. Once, it sounds a little strange, but I was explaining to the president, President Putin was very generous in his feeling toward Ukraine succeeding.
He's so generous that he invaded.
Including supplying energy, electricity, and other things at very low prices. So a lot of good things came out of that call today. But they were in the works for 2 weeks with Steve and with Jared and Marco and everybody.
Yeah. A complete and total embarrassment, quite frankly. And Trump just can't see. It seems that he is unable to control himself, where even when he's with Zelensky, he praises Putin. He defers to Putin. Putin's so generous. Putin wants peace. Putin is ready. What about get out of our country? How about that as a starting point? It's hard to imagine a worse person to have in power right now. Trump saying that he saw a very interesting Putin today. And I guess the way that this went is Putin was on the phone either during, before, after the meeting with Zelensky. Trump, it was Putin was so interesting today. I believe him. I believe him. We know you do. You've been saying that since the summit in Helsinki during your first term, during which he said, of course we didn't do any hacking, sir.
You, in the past, have suggested a trilateral meeting between both Presidents Putin and Zelensky. Is
Right.
that something that is also on the docket?
I see that happening, sure, at the right time. I saw a very interesting President Putin today. I mean, he wants to see it happen. He wants to see it. He told me very strongly. I believe him. Don't forget, we went through the Russia hoax together.
Oh,
and
God.
he'd call me, I'd call him, I'd say, can you believe the stuff that they're making up? And it turned out we were
And Putin goes, of course I can believe it. I'm involved in it.
right. They made it all up. And despite that, we didn't get into wars or we didn't get into problems, but we weren't able to trade very much or any of that, which was a shame because, you know, a lot of success could have been had by trading with Russia. They have great land, great minerals and other things, and we have things that they want very badly. But the Russia hoax, which was a terrible, made-up, fictional thing by...
I don't know how Zelensky keeps his composure. I just don't know how he does it in this environment. Trump was asked about the American citizens who have died on the battlefield, helping Ukraine defend itself against Russia. Trump goes, I mean, listen, it's a shame. It's a shame. And you can really sense the empathy from Trump.
In your conversation with...
You were saying that you've said multiple times that you want to stop the killing, and nearly 100 American citizens died in Ukraine on the battlefield. What's your message to their families whose loved ones died fighting for you?
Well, look, I mean, the message is so obvious. It's what a shame.
What a shame.
They died in a country, a foreign country.
It was a completely foreign country, by the way. They didn't die in a domestic country. Don't be lest anyone be confused. These were completely foreign countries in which these soldiers died, and it's a shame.
And some are celebrated people. They're very celebrated. But so sad that a thing like that would happen. Yes, ma'am.
President Trump, obviously security.
There you go. Just the Trump reeking with empathy and compassion. Trump asked, did Putin agree to a ceasefire during these very high-level discussions? Not exactly. Not exactly.
Steve and with Jared and Marco and everybody.
Did Russia agree or did Putin agree to a ceasefire to allow a referendum to take
Not a
place?
ceasefire, and that's one of the points that we're working on right now. No, not a ceasefire. He feels that, look, they're fighting and to stop, and then if they have to start again, which is a possibility.
It would be really inconvenient to stop bombing Ukraine because we might have to start up again.
He doesn't want to be in that position. I understand that position. The president feels strongly about that or something, but I think we're finding ways that we can get around that. But I understand President Putin from that standpoint. You have to understand.
Trump is really empathetic to Putin on this issue. To just stop fighting willy-nilly when we might have to start fighting again, I just don't know. I just don't know about that. Trump then alluding, I guess, to Joe Biden in one of these word salad-y statements where that he's running low on substance, and so he's trying to ramp up the insults. And it really does seem as though former President Biden is living completely rent-free. It's not even rent stabilized. He's living rent-free in Trump's orange head.
But I spoke to him and we'd talk about Ukraine. I've said it before. It was the apple of his eye, but he wasn't going to do anything about it. He didn't do anything about it until I was gone. And then a lot of really bad statements were made by people, by a lot of people, I guess, but by a certain president that we had who was a disaster. Yes.
A disaster. Trump summing up his phone call with Putin, saying it was about 2.5 hours and they talked about a lot of things.
No, look, I was on the phone with him for almost, I guess, 2.5 hours. They're just telling me now. It's a long time. We discussed a lot of things. We didn't talk about the weather. We weren't talking about what a beautiful day it is in Palm Beach, Florida.
I love how Trump goes, they told me we spoke 2.5 hours. It's like, don't you have an awareness of how long you spoke to the guy? And then finally, Trump winding this thing down by saying, Mar-a-Lago's so cool, I don't even know that Zelenskyy wants to go to the White House anymore. To which Zelenskyy goes, I would go to the White House.
Thank you.
And thanks for lunch.
I don't know. Was it a good lunch? Yes, sir. There's no lunch. He walked in. He said, "This place is gorgeous. I don't think he wants to go to the White House anymore. That's the problem."
I'm ready to go to the White House.
I know. It is. The White House is a very special place, and so is this. I hope you enjoyed it.
Trump saying Mar-a-Lago, like the White House, is a beautiful place. I think part of the reason Zelensky's not super impressed with Mar-a-Lago is that it's sort of like dripping in gaudiness in a similar way to Kremlin and other facilities under Putin. And I just don't think Zelensky's impressed with that kind of Gilded Age, gaudy kind of stuff. Are we any closer to a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine after this meeting at Trump's house with Trump at the helm? Listen, I hope we are. I hope we are, but I struggle as I see Trump disoriented and confused about what even are the parameters here. I struggle to think that we are rapidly accelerating towards peace. Let me know what you think in a comment or send me an email, info@davidpakman.com. All right, so we all know Alexa listens to us, recommends products based on our conversations. Meta retargets us based on our browsing and engagement history. Have you wondered what ChatGPT and Claude are up to with your conversations? We feed so much of our information to these AI chatbots, thoughts, dreams, sensitive questions, business ideas. They take the information, tie it to your identity, and they can sell that to third parties and governments. ChatGPT has the former director of the NSA on their board right now. That doesn't feel awesome. It took us a long time to truly understand what social media companies were doing with our data. We don't have to make the same mistake with AI. And that's why I've started using Venice AI. Our sponsor, Venice, is a generative AI platform that is completely private and permissionless. They don't spy on you. Venice AI won't censor the AI. They have a safe mode, which you can turn off for both text and image generation. Messages are encrypted. Your conversation history is only stored on your browser. I love the Pro plan because I get upgraded features like uploading files, unlimited text prompts. Check it out. If you want to use AI without censorship or fear of handing over your most intimate thoughts to a corporation or the government, go to venice.ai/Pakman and use code Pakman to get 20% off their Pro plan. The link is in the description.